All right, Kenman here. Today we are on die project number 34, round 2, fight. We have the Sencut episode. I have a weird rig set up here. I'm going to get going and then we can talk about it after the fact. Yeah, I've made this kind of rig on a string. I'm going to go ahead. I've got the die heating up already. I'm going to go ahead and drop these in, get the air bubbles off. Any air bubbles on there are going to prevent the die from sticking to that spot as well. And I'm going to turn on, I just noticed my heat is low off. Put it on lower. Okay, so what I've got is they are in. I am going to flip a switch off camera, hooked to a battery, hooked to a motor. That motor is going to move about 3 revolutions per minute and is going to slowly take these scales out of the die. You can't really tell that it's even moving. If you look right here, it looks like it's just about to cinch tight and it might start going up fairly soon, but it is going to move pretty slow. Like I said, the motor I have on there is about 3 revolutions. Oops, I forgot about this piece right here, the side piece, the back spacer. Oh, see, you can see them coming out already. I'm gonna go in here and hit the tops with water. Wow, it's going quicker than I thought. So we might have to go back in and bring them up again. We shall see. The whole point of this was to have it be a fade. So it'll be darker on the bottom, lighter on the top. That's why I'm kind of going like this with this water. Little rinse. But yeah, I think it's definitely going faster than we want it to. So I'm probably going to have to send them back down again after they come all the way out. But that's just something to know and learn. I just thought it'd be kind of a fun method to have it slowly rise up, therefore kind of give you that fade. There's another technique we're trying out. What's everyone think? Sounds like a good idea? Okay. While those are lifting and I'm kind of not talking because I'm observing and trying to see how much of a fade we really get with that speed, and it looks like it is not a lot. Ooh, we just dropped a bounce. So yeah, I'm just using the water to kind of spritz off. I see a few spots where the dye isn't dripped down as fast. This way it kind of will keep them kind of clean, kind of even. And look, they are now fully out. 3 minutes. Looked like it was about a 3-minute deal for that to happen. I'm going to go ahead and shut off my power. Now I'm going to take these. I'm going to lightly lift. Sorry, I'm off camera. I'm unwinding my winds back down so we can drop it all the way back into the water or the dye. And down we go. And I'm going to hit the switch again. If anybody does want to see this setup, it's kind of a mess, so I'll show the motor on another time or something, or we can have a little closer look, but yeah, it's not that big a deal. It's just a small little motor. Got it hooked up to a battery pack, and that gets it spinning at that really slow rate. Okay, I am going to shift over here. We're going to check these out for a minute. We're just going to allow that to do its thing. Look at the old Fantara and this light orange. Definitely had a lot of variety. These 2 orange. This Kaiser LP, look at the drop on this. Ugh. You don't know about the Kaiser LP. Really nice knife. Sencut Crowley. Oops. All right, I'm noticing them start to come out, and you see this thicker chunks, right? I'm gonna hit those. Those chunks will definitely show up, because what that is that's like some concentrated, when the dye is heated, it kind of sometimes can separate a little bit or get a little chunky. It's weird, a liquid dye and water, and it still kind of gets this separation on occasion. But what happens is if it's sitting unevenly like that in those spots, that's a way that it could potentially get darker in that spot. So then you're not going to get that same kind of fade. And I want this to be slowly being pulled out so that it's going to be darker at the bottom and lighter at the top. Looks like it's kind of working. Since I'm just using tiny little bits of water with this spray bottle, it's not really, it's diluting my dye, of course, but not by much. So it's not something to be too terribly worried about as far as that goes. We're kind of getting a fade here. My main other worry was to not, have it be not transitional enough. Like if it's kind of blue here and then darker blue here, it's just not quite enough of a fade that it even shows up. That's not quite exactly what I was hoping for. I was kind of trying to get this kind of tie-dye fade, kind of a, I don't know. Looks like it's sort of working. You guys can see that. They're spinning here. See how it's definitely darker on the bottom. So I'm not spraying them right now. I'm kind of letting that dye sit there, but I do notice that it doesn't sit evenly. Try to hit it. Try to keep it semi even. Down the bottom there. It's thick. All right. We have a fade. We definitely have a fade. Let's see. I'll hold these sideways. But let's see. Third time is a charm, huh? What's happening to my... All right. I'm going to turn my motor off. Grab my stick here. Unwind my fishing string. Seems to be working fairly well. And fire it back up for one more lift here. See how it does. I'm not doing anything with the backspacer. I'm just going to let the backspacer get nice and dark. Basically, I've got the fade going light at the back, dark towards the front. So the backspacer is going to be at the back, obviously, where it's lighter. So that might have a little contrast. I'm trying to hit these good. So it's nice and light at the top. And like I said, with 30 ounces of dye in here, the spray of water that I'm putting in there, I'm probably not getting more than an ounce or two in addition to what's already there. So it's not like it's really diluting it that much. And if I feel like I did add a lot and it seems like it's significantly more at the end than when I started, then I can take the liquid dye and I can add a little more liquid dye to that mixture and kind of stiffen it up, darken it up a little bit more. All right, those are coming out. I think after this one, we're going to give a normal full rinse. Maybe. Take a look. So yeah, different colors we've got. We've definitely done some blue. We're doing the same blue as I did on this Sencut, this sapphire. Look at how awesome that is, right? My subscriber Jimmy Crow recommended that color. I checked it out, and I've done several blues, as you can see here, and that blue, look at it compared to the others. It's just like, boom. Very cool. All right, here they are. Got kind of a fade. I'm gonna hit them with a rinse. Gotta hit both sides. This is working. Oh, it's a ride. We're getting dizzy now. Okay, so they are completely out. I'm going in again. 10 minutes. All right. Ooh. I'm going to turn it off right there. So right now the motor is not lifting. Trying to get it to allow to sit on the lower section a little bit longer. Try to keep these upper sections light. Just for that extra 30 seconds or so. All right, motor back on. Oops, whoa! Knocking over cans. Let's take a look here. Oops, sorry. Bumping camera. It's kind of neat when they're wet, you can kind of see it drawing dye kind of up the scale. It's actually kind of helping with the process though, I think, which is kind of neat. Does everyone think of this little teeny thing? The Concept Corvid Mini Cleaver. It's got the front flipper. Oh, that's cool. It also can be finger flicked, but my hands are so large it makes it actually harder to do. Almost. Oh, I got some blue on my finger. I better didn't notice that. See, that's the thing with dye. You got to be careful. A little spot of dye can go a long way on something that you don't want that dye on. So you got to be careful not to have it sit on your skin for too long, or like something that you maybe get it on your shirt or something that you do not want that dye on. And trust me, if you want it to dye, it takes longer to work, and if you don't want it to dye, it will dye quick. I'm going to actually pull off Bing. 2 little loops. Just backed it up so it slowed it down as it brings it up here. One last couple of times. What are we at? 13 minutes. All right, we're pushing it. We're pushing it. Any more of these? Always got to get out the Civivi Vision FG. They just released a new one of these with carbon fiber and like S35. I'm definitely thinking about picking that up. Great knife. Okay. Sorry today, since I'm doing this different technique, it's definitely taking up my attention a little more. Usually I'd be able to talk about some more stuff or explain the process a little more. I'm definitely a little distracted with this technique. Although I think we're going to end up with something a little different, which is nice, especially as we've been doing all these things. We got a lot of solid colors. One of the dyes I did for one of the winners, did one side one color, one side another color. That was kind of fun. I've been contemplating doing that again. And we also have, what is it, that dye that hasn't ever been finished, that shall not be named. Is still sitting out there in the world waiting to be picked up and fixed. Dropping off a couple of loops, bring it back down one more time. Really get this end darker. Give them a big rinse on both sides. And I think I might even go 15 minutes. Just do it. Just do it. You have plenty of long videos. That's another long video. I'm going to bring this down one more time to that full submerged. And now they're coming out. And this is going to be it. This will be the last one. We'll see how we look. Bumping it. Kind of a soft, more relaxing video this time, huh? I'm considering doing a couple of these, start doing them live, or doing some live videos. I'll probably make a poll what day people would be interested in if I were to do some lives on occasion. I'd like to do it on a time when people are able to tune in. I don't have all the viewers in the world, but I got a nice little following, and it'd be kind of fun to be able to interact with people while I'm doing this, and do a few lives and more giveaways and stuff. A lot of fun coming up in the future on the channel. And any feedback anybody has would be cool. All right, this is looking good. I think we've got an interesting fade. I'm going to start pre-prepping. Pre-prepping. This is our main rinse. Okay, I see a fade that does not look bad. I'm interested. It's nice too that it's not too light. There's no jade. It's blue all the way, so we've got that going. I'd hate to have some of it not actually be blue. It kind of throws off the color fade a little bit. If it's two-tone, I mean, two-tone is one thing. Oh, I think this is going to work. We'll just chill out here for a second, let them spin till they release or completely remove from the die. Boom, there it was. So I want to consider maybe slowing down. I can't really slow down this particular motor, but what I can do is I could put it on a thinner dowel that it's actually on, and then the rotations, because actually right now it's, you know, 1/4 inch thick, and so if I did it with a little bit thinner of a rod, then the rotations, does that make sense? If I made a 2-inch dowel on there and it spun one rotation, it's going to grab that distance. If it's a tiny little dowel, one rotation is going to be a smaller amount. So I could make that nail a little bit thinner, and that would make it spin and roll up a little bit slower. Or in the opposite way, I could make it bigger, and then it would spin up faster. Depending, like if I was using red, I know I've done dies with red where it can literally happen in like 1 minute. And so you wouldn't want it sitting in there for several minutes, because you're going to end up just all dark. I mean, in 1 minute, that red in that Civivi was as red as it red. And so if you have it raise up for 3 minutes, the whole thing's going to be dark red. All right, I'm going to turn the die off. These are going to get dried up. We'll get her put back together. We are at 19. Oh, boy. Don't jinx this. But yeah, sometimes it can take a good 10 minutes from when you start putting the knife back together. And if we're already almost at 20 minutes, I'm in trouble. Let's try not to jinx it out. Hopefully it'll go smooth. The last one I did the glide strike. The captive or non-captive pivot kind of got to me a little bit, and I'm using two tools and I slipped and kind of scratched it a little bit, but that's kind of one of the things that happens. We're just doing experiments here, playing around with pocket knives, trying to give them a little bit of a customization. Ooh, this fade is worked, has worked. I need to take this out. Oh, I'm going to go straight to my water rinse over here. Sorry, I'm off camera. Let me just throw that spacer in there really quick. Give it a quick little rinse. Get it back over here. Spacer's nice and dark. Put that next to that. You see the difference. It's kind of hard to see in the camera, the fade, but in real life, I'm looking at it right now and it looks good. That's kind of a decent angle. You can see the dark to light kind of fade going on there. Wow. All right. This is cool. It's subtle. It's definitely, if you look at this color here, next to this color here, you know what I mean? If you put them backwards. God, it's amazing how that camera blends that in. It's really hiding it. Interesting how that works. But I've also noticed that light colors can get washed out too. From the lighting, I've got some pretty bright lights above shooting down just to make everything look good. No shadows. But that lighting does affect the way things look. Some of the stuff looks a lot brighter on video than it actually is in person. This fade definitely sticks out more than it does looking at it through the camera. Okay, I just want to make sure that I get them very dry. Any little spots of moisture that could get in the pivot or in something that could then slowly cause some corrosion or whatever you want to just avoid. So we'll just get these nice and dry. Make sure inside the holes is good. All right. Let's get this puppy back together. 22 minutes and we haven't... Oh, Lord. Okay. It's fine. It's fine, right? All right, let's shift this over here. Get into build mode. Got our scales. Wow, it's got some interesting stuff happening here. Okay, so the side that is getting the pocket clip is the side I'm gonna do first because of the excuse me, when I took it apart, the larger size, this piece of the pivot was on this side of the knife. And I like to put it all back together the way it came apart. Okay, so let's see. Let's do this piece here. Back spacer has a couple of spacer washer barrels that go. They should go. There we go. There and there, like that. Then we have this skinny little pin that is like a lanyard pin. And then, where? Oh, it's right there. I was like, no, I'm missing the back stop pin. Careful with the blade. And then this goes back on. Oops. Of course, I almost had it. And then this popped out. Got lucky, a little shimmy. All right, so let's get this pivot started. Not going to tighten it all the way down. I'm just going to get it on there so that it's not moving. Okay. Why is that being weird? All right, get it straight. Come on. Not sure what in the heck. Nothing can really move from that point. Just gotta get the threads lined up. There it goes. All right, so pocket clips going on that side. So this side. Sorry, I'm not too talkative today, I guess. I'm so focused on this. I usually am able to chat while we're going, and I just seem to be right? Okay, so that is going to go right there. We are almost there. And the pocket clip is a switcheroo T6s, which is a fairly standard scenario in the pocket knife world. All right, I've got all the screws in. Now I'm going to tighten everything down, as long as it's straight. That is not incorrectly. Why is this pivot doing that? There we go. Just being strange. All right, so let's get this thing cranked down, but not so tight that you can't loosen it, like what happened last time. Okay, I've got it most of the way tight. I didn't crank on it hard, just for fear of it doing what happened last time. Now I'm going to go back and crank all the other screws down. Make sure it's all tight. And then we can check on that blade centering. The pocket screws, I like to go back and forth a couple of times since they're next to each other. When you do one and you get it tight, it allows the other one to get a little slack sometimes. So then you go back and just hit them all again, make sure they're nice and snug. Now we can go back and loosen this. I'm going to try to, yep, I was able to push it against my finger. Blade is solid. We have done it. Get this stuff out of the way. We're pushing 30. Holy cow. All right, we did it. Let's get some looks. See if I can finish this for 30 minutes. It's harder to see that fade, but it's definitely lighter here, fading up. Got the dark back spacer there. Complete success. Sencut finished episode. Another episode complete. First episode complete. It's nice and dark right there. Nice and light. Yeah, when I fade it, do that. You look at that, how light blue that is. You can see that fade to that dark. I'm happy with it. What's everyone think? Should we try this again with a different color or the same color, a different technique? Comment below. Let me know what you think about it. If you thought it was a good idea, what you think about the fade. I'm going to take some more shots. You should be able to see it better. But it definitely, in person, you can. It's a subtle fade, but it's really dark there and it's really light there. So that at the end of it, you can definitely notice. Oh, 30-minute video. And you can actually kind of see some light through there. Right? There, see that? Boom, 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 boom. So you can still kind of see through these scales just a little bit. That's actually kind of a cool little bonus. What does everyone think of this knife? It's a nice knife. Excited to carry it. Probably carry it tomorrow. All these die knives, they sit there and I don't get to use them. Action seems to be good. I'm happy with it. Oh, there's that lefty fail that I am good at. Boom, get it out. Get it closed. Good stuff. That's going to be it for today. If you enjoy what you see, please hit that like button and subscribe if you would like to see more. Helps me out. I really appreciate it. Stay sharp. I'll see you soon.